Hello and welcome to another edition of A Better Life. I'm Dr. Lucas Fry and we are glad you joined us today. And don't forget, we are still going to give away about the second week in January, now that we've got Christmas out of the way and New Year's is coming up. We want to invite you to participate in our drawing. And the way you can register for the drawing is to email me at WLFT.com the answer to this question. Do you think Donald Trump would make a good president for the United States of America, or do you think he wouldn't, and why? So just send it to us at email me at WLFT.com and you'll be entered to win a $100 gift certificate from one of our supporting sponsors, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, right here in Baton Rouge. Great place to have dinner. Maybe you can get your lovely spouse out to a nice Valentine's Day or something like that. Okay, hope you had a good Christmas. And with me today is a man that is running for political office of mayor, the mayor of Baker, and that's what we've been talking about, is politics on the last few weeks' shows. We'll continue, of course, and right up through to our live debate that will be taking place on January 14th. Starts at 7 p.m. Right here on WLFT with the a debate of all the police chiefs, and followed at 9 p.m. We're inviting all the candidates for mayor to be here. So we hope that you will tune in and send us your questions to email me, and we'll be live on Twitter and on Facebook, and you'll be able to watch it streamed also. So be sure and tune in. But with me right now is Darnell Waites.
Yes.
I said it correct, right?
Darnell Waites.
Darnell Waites. We have met before. Welcome back
yes, sir.
to
Thank
the
you,
show.
What's
your current position now?
I'm the administrative officer for the city of Baker to Mayor Harrito.
So you're the one that keeps him straight, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm the second man there.
Why did the mayor decide to step out, since you work with him?
3 terms. He was tired. He wanted to go spend some time with his family. He's almost 70 years old, and he thought it was, the city needed a change.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's led the city through a lot of ups and downs, and Baker is a city that had a large influence of people and money right after Hurricane Katrina, and had a rapid growth and lots of people that were moved here, and then everything kind of just fell apart.
It did.
What is your agenda as mayor of the town? What do you think the number one issue is that you want to tackle?
Well, education. The education system, partnership with the leadership of the school system, and work together to market the city, and help them do whatever it takes for the education system to get better. The other thing is economic development is always the key for a city like this, but education drives economic development. And I think the biggest thing that the city needs right now is unity. That's the biggest thing. And my plan is to bring that leadership together and come to the table and talk about what we need to move the city forward.
Now, it's been said before that the mayor basically is the salesman for the city.
Right.
Your number one job is to try and grow the city.
Right.
You've seen there's a lot of blighted areas in town.
Right.
The school system has had its ups and downs. I understand now that it's kind of on a way up.
Right.
And how do you plan to work with the school? I mean, typically politics and schools don't work together very well.
Well, we've already started a relationship with the superintendent, Mr. Bristol. We have a good relationship going on now. We do a lot of things together. We've been involved in a lot of different activities that's going on, so that relationship is already there. And that's why I believe that I can continue to build those relationships, because we've already built relationships. We built relationships with not only the school system, we built relationships with businesses within the city. We built relationships with businesses outside of the city. The people outside of the city look at the city and they see that the city is growing, and now they start to come in and invest in the city. So we're doing those type of things. We have those type of activities. We're working on programs where when kids come out of Baker High School, when they graduate, we're really trying to get them involved in skills that they can use, where they can stay in the city, live in the city. Our workforce development is helping us do that, where these are for kids who don't want to go to college. They just want special skills. They want to go to welding school. They want to be a pipe fitter, electrician. Our workforce development is helping us to do that, and these young men and women can get good jobs, stay in the city, and raise their family there. That's the plan.
Excellent. Okay, let's find out a little bit more about the man. Tell us your history. Where was you born? Where do you come from?
I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida. My mom was an educator.
Duval County guy.
Duval County, and I graduated from Andrew Jackson High School. My mom was an educator. My father was a career military guy. I spent 27 years in the military myself. And that's just me. I've been all around the world. Had tours in Korea, 4 tours in Korea. I've been to Germany, Kuwait, Egypt. I'm an Iraqi veteran, Somalia veteran, and Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Well, let me say thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And Jacksonville, actually where you went to high school, my deceased wife, her mother grew her up right across the street from that school. They owned the house right across from that school.
Right.
Had you ever been to the Alhambra Dinner Theater?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. She worked there and wrote some shows. And matter of fact, Christmas Carol has just finished running there that she wrote. But a lovely town. I love Jacksonville.
It is.
Love Jacksonville. Real nice city.
Good
place to grow up because it's a lot like this town.
Right.
It really is. It gave you a good foundation.
It did. It gave me a good foundation. And the city now, Jacksonville, has grown so land-wise. It's one of the largest cities in the country. But I learned some things from Jacksonville. One is when we talk about workforce development, a lot of what Jacksonville had was satellite schools for Jacksonville University and the university that were downtown. And then in the neighborhoods where I grew up in, we didn't have transportation to get to those facilities. So they had satellite schools where you could actually go to school, you could walk down the street to the school, get your education, and still be in your neighborhood. And my mom pushed that, and so that's what we're pushing here for Baker. To be partnership with schools like BRCC and eventually, move on to Delta College so we can get those kind of opportunities for the kids who live here in Baker because the traffic is so bad in Baton Rouge where you can come in, get the skills you need to be able to move on to the next level in your life.
Sounds like a good plan. We'll talk to Darnell Waites more after we come back from this break, and we want you to stay tuned. But right now, a word from the sponsors, the people who care about a better life. Welcome back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Lucas Fry, and we are talking politics. Speaking of politics, would you like to win a $100 gift certificate to Ruth Chris Steakhouse? Well, email me the answer to this question. Would Donald Trump make a good president for the United States, or would it be a bad president for the United States? Tell us why you think that, and that will automatically get you registered to win the prize we'll be giving away here in about another couple of weeks. We hope you had a great Christmas, and right now we're all concentrating on the new year, and what's going to be happening in politics is a big thing. I know you think politics are over, but not if you live in Baker, because Baker, for the first time in the history of the city, is replacing its top 2 jobs, police chief and the mayor, at the same time. So this is something that's going to affect the city and might pull a Livingston, might even wipe out the entire council and start all over there too. So a city that is on the verge of growing. We've seen some new improvements in Baker in the last few years. We have a new grocery store. It's opening up here in just a few weeks, and just a lot going on in Baker as far as improvements. So it seems to be the city of the future. Here's a man that thinks he can lead us into the future. Darnell Waites is with us today, candidate for mayor of the city of Baker. Darnell, as was telling us, he's a native of Jacksonville, Florida, a military town. But now he makes his home here. How long have you been in Baker?
Since 2000. And I've been here since 2000, got married in 2004. I was stationed here at a unit called 321st down in Baton Rouge, and my wife is from here when I met her. And we came into the city of Baker. She lives here. She was living here, and I fell in love with the place. And I told her, I said, when I retire, this is where I want to live. And that's how I got to Baker.
That's how you got to Baker.
That's how I got to Baker.
So the story of your car breaking down is not true. Okay.
No.
All right. So tell us this. What do you think, aside from education, what's the next biggest issue facing problem facing the Baker area?
Well, like I talked about before, unity is going to be the big deal, people working together. But and what we want to do with that is that we're going down and we're setting up grassroots organizations. And that's what the Blighted Property Program was all about, to go into neighborhoods and clean up neighborhoods, pull out the old vehicles, get people to come outside and clean their yards up. The emphasis is on starting neighborhood watch programs and get people interested in their communities and grow it from the grassroots level, where the city is not trying to do everything, and where you get the neighbors and get everybody involved. And that will create the unity that we need here, and just stop the divide so we can move forward. Right now, in the city, there is a divide, and I don't know why it's like that, but my challenge is going to be to bring those parties together. And when we bring that leadership together, we can bring the city together, come up with great ideas and that's going to work, and then we can continually market the city where we can bring in investors to help build the city.
What specifically is that divide in your eyes?
I think it's a lot of personal divide. I think it has a lot to do with personal things that's going on, and I just think that we can get past that if we bring them to the table. I think that we should open up the table and let people's ideas come, where we can take a look at it and we'll make a decision on where we want to go. But we have to come together. Everything that's going on in this country right now shows us that a small city like ours has to come together so we can stick together, not only for ourselves, but for our kids. Our kids are watching us. They're watching us as we go at each other. So we need to show them, we need to lead by example and show them how to work together. And you're only going to be successful when you work together.
So the financial crisis facing the city that is developed basically because the money is run out. What is your plan as far as trying to rebuild the fiscal year and meet the demands of money?
Well, over the last 18 months, I've been in charge of that budget. The mayor has tasked me to manage that. We've cut costs. We've cut everything that we could to make sure that we could balance that budget. But we knew that, that it was going to be hard, and that's been the help of everybody. The police has been involved with that, the fire, the public works. Everybody is bought into this, where we've cut costs so we can save money, and we've done a good job with that. We were able to balance the budget the last 2 years. We've had a balanced budget. We've balanced the budget, and we've also been able to give our employees a raise across the board. And that's just hard work. That's just management. That's leadership. We have, with the finance department, and that's the mayor saying exactly what he wants, and then we're just getting down at it to make sure that it happens. And we're balanced that budget 2 years in a row. You got to understand that the revenues are coming up slow, but we're balancing the money. Things are starting to happen. That shopping center was a big deal for us. That helped us out a lot. And then a lot of other businesses came in, like the truck stop down on Highway 19. And the revenues are coming up. It's slowly, but we still have to be able to manage the money and understand where we're going in the future.
What do you feel the growth potential is? Where is it? Do you have businesses that you're targeting, that you're wanting to grow? Is it a particular part of town that you want to work on to begin with?
Well, always want to work on Highway 19, and one of the plans there is to go ahead and start our Main Street Association again, where we can clean 19 up. And put the owners, put it on the owners, and they take ownership of that. That's where most of the businesses are coming in. And on Plank Road, we have some openings there that businesses are starting to come in there. We have a new pharmacy opening up on Plank Road, because Baker is the way it sits is really awesome. It's about 15 minutes from the airport. It's about 20 minutes from Baton Rouge, but we don't have that traffic. When you come in on Plank Road or Highway 19, you can get off and go to a store. You can go to the Shop Savers. You can go to Walmart, and you can get right back on the road and go in where you're going. If you're going to Zachary or if you're going up to the Felicianas, it's really nice. No real traffic at all, and that's what we're marketing. Those areas right there. And Groom Road is starting to pick up too. We want to try to clean that up and get some legit businesses in that area there. I mean, everybody wants the good restaurants, and we're working on that. But in order to do that, we have to show the rest of the world that we can manage ourselves, that we have something for you, and we're marketing this city real, real hard. we're doing it. The other thing we did, and I want to mention that real quick, is that I'm also the president of the Chamber of Commerce. We revamped the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is growing. We're growing our businesses. We just had our first Women in Business luncheon this year. We had a job fair in March of this year, the first job fair in North Baton Rouge ever. And we just had our Baton Rouge Chamber, our Baker Chamber banquet, where Edwin Edwards was the guest speaker. We honored businesses in Baker. So that's how you bring business. You show them that we're business ready, that that they can come in and they can make a living and grow their business here.
Is the chamber now have somebody in the building for people to reach out
Yes,
to?
we have. We're still a part-time chamber. We're open 4 days a week from 2 to 5, and on Mondays from 9 to 12. The executive director now is Ms. LaTanya Anderson. She's doing a great job, and she has an office manager there, Ms. Paula, and they do a great job. And we're just continually growing the base, bringing new businesses in. And that was the problem that we had there, and we just changed it and we took a look at it, and it's helping out a lot.
Excellent. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Darnell Waites about his quest to become mayor of the city of Baker. But right now, a word from some sponsors, the people who care about a better life. Welcome back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Lucas Fry, reminding you again that as you go into this new year, be sure and register for our wonderful prize of a $100 gift certificate from Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And all you have to do is submit an answer to this question. Do you think Donald Trump would make a good president, or would he not be a good president, and why? Email us the answer to that question. You get automatically qualified to be in the drawing that will be given away here in about the second week of January, and announcing it right here on the show, and let some lucky winner go out and have a fine steak dinner. We'd love to have a nice steak dinner here in Baker, and you know what? Businesses are being sought after, and things are starting to change, and the biggest change is politics in the city of Baker. A new police chief will be elected in March, along with a new mayor. And with us today, of course, continue our conversation with Darnell Waites, who is candidate for mayor of Baker. And I would want to broach this with you, Darnell. You said that business-wise that you have, it all hinges around education and schools and growing the community as far as a smarter and being able to offer better education. You also said that there was some development as far as in what I would call VOTech back in my day. How is that working in Baker? Where is that? Is it down in Baton Rouge, or is it here in Baker that they can come to school and learn how to weld? What is that?
Our workforce development is the mayor, and he was a genius with this. What he did, he took the old fire department and he turned it into a workforce development center. And he partnership with BRCC, and started offering courses such as pipe fitting, electrician, welding in the evening time. So if the students have a job or anything, they're able to come in at night and get that training that is needed. Now, what's really, really great about this is that we have companies such as Stubb and Exxon and Turner Industries that are waiting on these jobs. If you look at what's going on around East Baton Rouge Parish, you realize if you talk to the Baton Rouge Chamber, they'll tell you that these skills are the most sought after skills in this parish. And this provides an opportunity. And because this is the only one in Baker, we were the first one. I think we have one in Slaughter now. We're getting a lot of participants from that. And see, the other thing with that economic development and workforce development is that this creates jobs, and that fuels the environment too. This creates those jobs. And whether they live in Zachary or they live in Central or they live in Baker, it still creates jobs for the northern part of Baton Rouge. And we've been able to do that. And the other thing that the workforce development has done for us, it has created a good relationship between the cities of Zachary and Central. We have a good relationship between the mayors and the Chamber of Commerces, and we're starting to work together as a team because we need each other. Yeah, their schools are better, and they set a standard for us to follow, but education is not the only thing that builds a city. and we understand that we have a lot of people that live in our city that don't have kids that go to school. They like the coming out. They like our city because it's safe, and we want to keep that moving. We want to grow it the best way we can. And that's why I always tell people that the education system will come. It will get better. Let's not focus on that all the time. Let's focus on the other areas to build the city, so when education comes, it'll be there for them. And people, they like our city because it's safe. They like our city because there's no traffic in this. But what they need is real leadership. And Hal Rito has been a great leader. He has embraced the vision that I had for this city. A lot of the programs that's going on now, he just came to me, he said, what can we do to make it better? He allowed me to be a good leader. He's just a great person to be around, and I'm just ready to get started and move forward with the vision that he had and on with my vision.
The city seems to be, the political candidates I've talked to all seem to be centered around education and trying to grow families. But there is a large base of retirees in this community.
Right. A large base of retirees and seniors. People are coming in every day from up north because it's too cold. They don't have kids, but where can you go in East Baton Rouge Parish when you can buy a nice home for about $150,000 in a good neighborhood and be one of the top 10 safest cities in America? So we're growing it that way. And that's why education is key, but we shouldn't put all the pressure on them. We need to help them grow and help them bring those families here. But that's not the only thing. We need to provide those housing developments. You know, we're looking at different areas where we can grow the city out and bring in new development, new homes for people that's coming in. But we want to keep it safe. Our retirees, we want them to be able to come outside and sit on their porch, and for kids to be able to play in the yard. And that's what Baker is all about. That's what I fell in love with Baker. We don't want to be Houston or Atlanta. We want to be around 20,000 or less, but we want it to be safe, and it wanted to be a small home where everybody knows everybody. And that's what we need to get back to in America.
When I first came to town, we lived in a motor coach for the first couple of years. And one thing that's missing in the entire Baton Rouge area is a nice community with a really nice RV park.
Right. And, you know, that's a good deal there. It's something to take a look at. That's a great idea that we have a RV park where you can park your cars. But a lot of people miss out on the parks that we do have. We got an RV park, and then we have a really great city park where we're thinking about expanding that so we can have more functions going on there. And besides that, our auditorium, we've made some changes to our auditoriums where we have weddings now and receptions and everything, where people that live in Baker can come there and they can have activities there. We have looked at the price where we have, with the school have fundraisers. We've changed it so the school can come in and have their fundraisers, and we don't charge them like we charge everybody else. They can come in and have a fundraiser where all the money goes back to the school. The Buffalo Festival, we're building it up. We're going to build that up, and that Buffalo Festival is good for the school system.
And it's growing. It's growing. If it just quit raining during it,
that's right.
Darnell, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you will accept our invitation to be on the debate on the 14th of January with us, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you for being on the show. Folks, we'll continue next week with our political candidates for mayor and police chief, so you'll want to stay tuned as we delve into this topic. And until that time, remember, you can have a better life through Jesus Christ.